Welcome to the 2015 Wayne Memorial High School Veterans Day ceremony. America owes a great debt of gratitude to our nation's veterans. This ceremony is a small way to say thank you to all who served. It is fitting that we gather near the main flagpole of the Wayne Memorial High School. The national flag that flies here represents our allegiance to our nation.
Presidential Proclamation, Veterans Day 2015, by the President of the United States of America. The United States military is the strongest, most capable fighting force the world has ever known. The brave men and women of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard demonstrate a resolute spirit and unmatched selflessness, and their service reminds us that our few things more American than giving of ourselves to make a difference in the lives of others. On Veterans Day, we reflect the immeasurable burdens borne by so few in the name of so many, and we rededicate ourselves to supporting those who have worn America's uniform and the families who stand alongside them. Our true strength as a nation is measured by how we take care of our veterans when they return home, and my administration is committed to ensuring our heroes and their loved ones have every chance to share in the promise they risk their lives to defend. We have made it easier for veterans to convert their military skills to the civilian workforce, enabled more veterans and their family members to attain federal education benefits, and expanded access to timely, quality health care for all veterans. Just as every veteran deserves the support and benefits they earned, those who have given everything to defend our homeland deserve a place of their own to call home. To uphold this ideal, First Lady Michelle Obama and Dr. Jill Biden's Joining Forces initiative has forged partnerships with local leaders across America to uphold the dignity of every veteran and to work to end veterans' homelessness. No one who fights for our country should have to fight for the care they deserve. Earlier this year, I was proud to sign the Clay Hunt Suicide Prevention for American Veterans Act, which fills critical gaps in mental health care by raising awareness and taking steps to improve access to care for those suffering from the invisible wounds of war. Our veterans left everything they knew and loved and served with exemplary dedication and courage so we could all know a safer America and a more just world. They have been tested in ways the rest of us may never fully understand, and it is our duty to fulfill our sacred obligation to our veterans and their families. On Veterans Day and every day, let us show them the extraordinary gratitude they so rightly deserve, and let us recommit to pledging our full support for them in all they do. With respect for and in recognition of the contributions our service members have made to the cause of peace and freedom around the world, the Congress has provided that November 11th of each year shall be set aside as a legal public holiday to honor our nation's veterans. Now, therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2015 as Veterans Day. I encourage all Americans to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans through appropriate public ceremonies and private prayers. I call upon federal, state, and local officials to display the flag of the United States and to participate in patriotic activities in their communities. I call on all Americans, including civic and fraternal organizations, places of worship, schools, and communities, to support this day with commemorative expressions and programs. In witness whereof, I have parental set my hand this 5th day of November, in the year of our Lord 2015, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 240th. President Barack Obama, President of the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the posting of the colors and the playing of the national anthem.
Battalion!
Company!
Attention! Post the colors.
Wherever I go, my colors speak of freedom. For all people, I was conceived to represent an ideal, one whose message has been carried over 2 centuries. I wave in silent tribute to the good that mankind has shown. I am liberty, the colors of the United States of America.
Present!
Present!
Arms!
Present! Arms!
Please place your hand on your heart and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Parade!
Order.
Please be seated. In 1921, an American soldier, his name known but to God, was buried on a Virginia hillside overlooking the Potomac River in the city of Washington, D.C. The burial site of this unknown World War I soldier in Arlington National Cemetery symbolized dignity and reverence for Americans' veterans. Similar ceremonies occurred earlier in England and France, where an unknown soldier of the Great War was buried in each nation's highest place of honor. These memorial gestures all took place on November 11th, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I hostilities at 11 a.m. November 11th, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The day became known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day officially received its name in America in 1926 through a congressional resolution. It became a national holiday 12 years later by similar congressional action. We now honor all who served and all who gave their lives for our country. In front of our formation are the traditional boots and rifle that represents a soldier who has made the ultimate sacrifice.
Throughout our nation's history, our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and support personnel were there, putting their lives on the line for freedom. They were there for freedom during the American Revolution at Lexington in 1775 and fought on after independence was declared until Yorktown in 1781. They fought for the land of the free and the home of the brave in the War of 1812. They marched under General Winfield Scott through the gates of Mexico City. They marched through Shiloh, Manassas, Antietam, and Gettysburg. They were there at the Appomattox Courthouse when our divided nation was made whole again. They fought the Indian Wars. They rode with Teddy Roosevelt up San Juan Hill in the war with Spain. They were there in Manila during the Philippine insurrection in Mexico in 1916 and 1917. Throughout this period, over 3 million soldiers served and over 250,000 gave the ultimate sacrifice.
They went to Europe with Blackjack Pershing in World War I, and were with the doughboys in the trenches of France, again heeding the call for freedom. 4,734,991 soldiers served in World War I. 116,516 gave their lives. In World War II, they fought in the Pacific and in Europe. They landed on Guadalcanal and on the beaches of Normandy and drove on to victory. 16,112,566 soldiers fought in World War II. 405,399 gave their lives. Today, there are 1,711,000 living World War II veterans.
In Korea, they answered the call of justice with the United Nations again, lending support to a foreign nation who was fired upon. 5,072,000 served, and 33,741 gave their lives. They went to Vietnam, fighting for democracy and to aid a nation in its battle for freedom. 8,744,000 soldiers served during the Vietnam War, and 77,434 gave the ultimate sacrifice. There are 9,676,000 living veterans of the Korean War and Vietnam.
They served in the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Panama, and liberated Kuwait in Southwest Asia. Today, our forces serve in Iraq, Afghanistan, and around the world combating terrorism. 7,717 Americans have lost their lives combating terror, and over 3 million have served their country or are still on Freedom's Watch. We pay tribute to all who served in this ceremony. It's but a small way to say thank you to the 45 million soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and support personnel who have stood in harm's way for the noble cause of freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me in a moment of silence to pay respect and honor to the brave soldiers who have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we may be free. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Brigadier General retired Mark Monjak.
Isn't it a beautiful Veterans Day today? This is one of the best ones I've ever seen. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's ceremony and thank you for attending. I'm honored to be speaking with you today on such an important occasion. We are here today to honor all of our service members and to remember their sacrifices they have made and courage it takes to defend duty, honor, and country. Today we honor our veterans to remember their achievements, their courage, their dedication, and to say thank you for all of their sacrifices. Thinking of the veterans who are here only in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of their patriotism. We stand in the midst of patriots and family and friends who have nobly served. And at this time, I'd like to ask that all the service members and veterans who are here to either stand or raise your hand. And I do see some veterans out here. Sergeant Lahane, we're veterans. Thank you all very much for the call to duty. You have made our armed forces the most respected in the world. Now I'd also like to ask the family members of any service member to stand. We know they have lived through difficult times and often taken a heavy load to keep the home fires burning. Thank you for what you've done. All the family members, please stand, of veterans. Thank you all very much. The veterans whom we honor today come from all walks of life, but they have shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to serve in distant places. Many didn't even volunteer. They were called to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways, often during extreme and difficult times. Today, our veterans continue to make many sacrifices, not only for them, but for their families too. More Americans are stepping forward to say, I'm ready to serve. They follow in the footsteps of generations of fine Americans. As you have heard, Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day. It was designated as a day to celebrate the end of World War I. The First World War ended on November 11, 1918, and the legislation that created Veterans Day was, and I quote, dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be hereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. As time went on, we engaged in further conflicts during World War II in Korea. Various veterans groups lobbied for a change. Rather than honoring the armistice and only those who served in World War I, the holiday, as of 1 June 1954, would now honor all veterans from every war and conflict the United States had encountered. We've honored our veterans and their service and sacrifice ever since. Today, people throughout the country will gather together to remember, to honor, and to pay gratitude to those who have served our country. Our gathering is just one small spark in the flame of pride that burns across the nation today and every day. It is not a lot, but it's one small way we can honor those who have served in the military so that we can live in freedom. Your presence here today and that of the people gathering all across America is a tribute to all veterans who have served in war or peacetime, and to their families. It is a simple way to say, we remember. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys crouched in the muddy trenches of France, to the soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen who patrolled the hazy jungles, skies, and rivers of Vietnam, and the young man or woman patrolling the skies and mountains of Afghanistan, we honor and remember them all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending today. God bless you, your families, God bless our veterans, and God bless America, and God bless these wonderful JROTC cadets from Wayne Memorial High School. Awesome job, cadets. You look great. Thank you all very much.
Before we retire the colors, we dedicate this ceremony to former members of the Wayne Memorial High School JROTC Battalion who currently serve or who have served in the United States Armed Forces. In the United States Army, First Lieutenant Ryan Crane, Second Lieutenant Joshua Fletcher, Staff Sergeant Michael Vaughn, Sergeant Michael Soch, Specialist Christian Lahane, Specialist Andrew Pate, Specialist Linda Polio, Specialist Sean Mullen, Specialist Angie Jones, Specialist Trevor Fletcher, Specialist Jonathan Allen, Private First Class Carl Schmidt, Private First Class Matthew Krill, Private First Class Tunis Aldo, Private First Class Patrick McKenzie, Private First Class Michael Nicholson, Private First Class Quentin Frey, Private First Class Nathan Hurd Laskowski, Private Nicholas Carter, Private Alexander Wilcox. United States Army Reserve, Sergeant John Capelli, Specialist Ryan Bies, Specialist Joshua Longman, Private First Class Amy Papinal, Private First Class Donald Whitman, Private First Class Jesse Metlin, Private Michael Alderman. U.S. National Guard, Specialist Anthony Butner, Private First Class Tad Lloyd, Private First Class Brennan Rice, Specialist Kesley Honeycutt, Private First Class James Connor, Private First Class Devin Person, Private First Class Douglas Biddles, Private Aaliyah Herrera, Private Isabel Letts, Private Antoine Powers. United States Marine Corps, Lance Corporal Jeremy Flores, Lance Corporal Dion Morgan, Lance Corporal Zachary Woodworth, Private First Class Daryl Eisen, Private First Class Marcus Jordan. United States Navy, Seaman Michael Dubose, Seaman Anthony Hardesty. United States Air Force, Staff Sergeant Aaron Hanner, Staff Sergeant Sean McNamara, Airman First Class Zachary Harris, Airman First Class Mario Palcino, Airman Randall Giles. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the retiring of the colors.
Retire the colors.
Cousin first. March. Forward. March. Cousin. March. Colors. Halt.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. We would like to thank Brigadier General Monjar, Dr. Hamala, Mr. Weber, Mr. Dyroff, and the Wayne Memorial High School Band. We especially thank all those who have served. Thank you for attending.